Welcome back to Noggin Picks, presented by Minnesota Comic Exchange. We want to start the video off by thanking people, by thanking you guys for coming to this channel and joining the Minnesota Comic Exchange. This week, the MCE finally hit its first goal of having 150 members. In fact, we almost broke 30 members just this week. Which means now we currently hit the goal for our raffle. This raffle is $5 a ticket. Purchase of two, minimum of two. It's to hit 160 tickets sold. All the money goes to the MCE. This is to help us out with conventions, acclaim sales, equipment for recording, get better production for this stuff. So please find us on Facebook, Minnesota Comic Exchange. We only ask for one thing. We've been realizing that those who have been requesting to join the group have been not doing this. We want you to answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, we might reach out to you or we might just decline your request. We're not trying to be mean, we want to keep the MCE a very safe space for Minnesotans. Also, it's been a busy week. The MCE also created a new Instagram page. The goal for this page would just be to boost local comic talent, comic creators, artists, stuff like that, as well as talk about our favorite books.
We wanted to get this video out a few days earlier, like on Saturday, but we both got our first Fauci Ouchie vaccine on Thursday. So we're a little bit behind, and we also read through, 28, 30 issues of comics?
28 comics.
So we wanted to get our picks down, and we also have a few honorable mentions as well.
And not to mention WrestleMania. We wanted to give a quick shout out though before we dive into the honorable mentions. After last week's video, we were told by our follower member and admin, Sean, to check out the Flash 768. Neither one of us really been readers of Flash. In fact, we didn't really enjoy Future State all that much. We have to admit though, Sean was on to something. It was a really fun read. But on to the honorable mentions.
So the first one that we picked was Suicide Squad #2 by Robbie Thompson and art by Eduardo Pancia, I believe. Just a lot of fun. It just continued to kind of be a surprise. Like, they brought in Superboy and Talon.
Peacemaker.
Yeah,
Peacemaker's been the shining star, in my opinion, of the series. 2 issues in, and just continues to dominate.
It's just fun.
It's fun. Plus, a sucker for any pop fiction reference. A second honorable mention, we've got 3 of them this week. Silver Coin #1, The Ticket, by Chip Zdarsky and Marco Walsh.
Which is a new horror anthology series.
From Image. A very character-driven story. Very Zdarsky-like. The next issue is going to be written by Kelly Thompson. Kind of hoping to have like an Ice Cream Man type of anthology here. Kind of like haha.
Yeah, and I think every issue involves a silver coin of some sort, which always seems to have a twist, I feel like. Yeah. A third honorable mention was Project Patron #1 from Aftershock Comics by Steve Orlando, and the art by Patrick Piazzalunga, I believe. And I actually read the preview of it, and Kyle didn't.
Went into it completely blind.
Yeah, and the preview for me wasn't 100%, I was like, maybe we'll pick this up. So we ended up picking it up, and we were very thoroughly surprised by it. This first issue has a lot of potential. At first kind of seems like a simple homage to Death of Superman, which kind of quickly takes a turn for intrigue and for the storyline.
Yeah, and Future's probably one of the best endings of the entire week. Watching Invincible, I kind of got that feel from it.
Yeah.
The almost the balls to the walls, like, we're gonna just screw with you right here. Okay, now on to our top 4 of the week. Yes, we were talking about 7 comics this week, because, reading 28 of them was difficult to pick. But, once again, no Marvel. This isn't to say we didn't like any Marvel books this week. It's just the independent publishers right now are just dominating the scene, in our opinion. Between first issues and continuation of news stories, it's hard to put a Marvel book in the top 4. But to begin the list, we're going to talk about DC. Batman 107 by James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez, Nora's boyfriend. The thing we can be said about this book is the new design of a Scarecrow. Jorge Jimenez draws probably the creepiest, but also the most pleasing Scarecrow I've recently seen. It's so damn creepy. It fits Tynion's stories so well.
Yeah, and Harley Quinn gets so excited because she thinks she's Batman's new sidekick.
Yeah, and going off of the sidekicks, the backup story features Ghostmaker, a character I wasn't a huge fan of prior to reading this. His story was okay, but this backup story gave him more layers to the point that we're looking forward to continue reading these backup stories, and maybe one day we can get an actual Ghostmaker series. Back in the backup stories, not Jimenez that does the artwork. It's Ricardo Lopez Ortiz that does the artwork. But we should probably give a disclaimer that any Bat family title will probably make the list.
At least at one point. Next up is Another Image, number 1, Geiger by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. It was the same team from Doomsday Clock, which we finally was forever. Yeah, it took a long time, but I actually want to reread the trade.
It's a great series. It's a great story. It's just took a little too long to collect.
Yeah. Anyway, the artwork's just awesome though in this book. It's a tale of a nuclear hero, I guess. It has really good potential. It was a good start, we both thought.
It's really difficult to dive into what happens because it's more of just setting up the story. It has potential of being a very fun story. The next book on the list is Dead Dog Bites Chapter 2 by Tyler Boss. This is from Dark Horse Comics. Mm-hmm. In my honest opinion, this needs to become a TV show or movie. It's got a very Twin Peaks feel to it. Mm-hmm. The narration and dialogue just alone makes this a great story for me. The problem, not the problem. This is a great problem to have. But when you get done reading it, you have so many questions, a mystery.
The main character is trying to uncover a friend that has disappeared. So this issue has kind of unraveled more secrets, and she's kind of making more headway, but also has some things lurking in the background. So
dialogue too. That was the reason why we recommend this series, just to read it for Tyler Boss's dialogue. The artwork is okay, but the script itself is where it thrives at.
And then finally, Noctera number 2, Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels from Image. One of my favorite writers is Scott Snyder. We really enjoyed this issue. Maybe one of our favorite out of all 28 some books that we read. I think it's
probably the best out of 28.
Yeah. It just, right off the bat, but yeah, much like Dead Dog's Bite, we see this becoming a great adaptation, or you can kind of just envision that as you're reading the issue. Tony Daniels' artwork, as always, just kind of pops off the page. It's a little dialogue heavy, kind of like Scott Snyder usually is, but not as bad. But yeah, the artwork and the storyline just work so well together, and the main character is, you kind of get more of her past kind of coming out slowly.
Yeah, but this issue, I think the villain Blacktop Bill.
Mm-hmm.
He steals the show.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the most badass villain to be introduced recently in comics.
Yeah, so this is definitely a must-read if you're into independent comics or if you just want to pick up a new story.
I would just say comics in general. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching. Please consider joining our group, the Minnesota Comic Exchange. Like the video. Please leave a comment too. What was your favorite books of the week? And if you like the channel, subscribe. If you're a member of the page, please subscribe to the channel as well, because in the future we plan on doing discussions, or we plan on having members on this show, not just the two of us all the time.
Yeah, you don't want to see us all the time.
Yeah. Please provide feedback. If the volume's too low,
good, bad, horrible, anything, literally.
If we need a new co-host, let me know.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.